These pursuits of knowledge and truth and spirituality are there to enhance the quality of life that we want to experience. We don't negate the material world. We don't try to become more spiritual people so that we can become ascended masters, so that we can become Jesus, so that we can somehow leave this plane of existence and go to the spirit world, because somehow the spirit world is better than the material world. If that even is how it works, because you and I both know very well, if you study this sort of thing, right? The law of polarity says opposites are equal. Opposites are equal, and they only vary in their degree of manifestation. In other words, hot and cold are the same thing. It's the measure of heat energy. The only difference between hot and cold is where that energy takes place out on the spectrum. 50 degrees is cold, 100 degrees Fahrenheit is hot. Right? But then you can change the scenario. Some bacterial species think that 50 degrees is too hot, and they like to thrive at somewhere around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So perception makes a difference, subjectivity makes a difference, but the objectivity of it, the fact being that opposites are alike in quality but vary in degree. Material world and the spiritual world are alike in quality but vary in degree of manifestation. Where does consciousness manifest along that point is the only difference. Right? So we don't use our spiritual practices to negate anything that we want to be doing. We don't use our spirituality as spiritual one-upmanship to say, I am now better than I was before because I am now more spiritual. Or I'm better than you because you're concerned with buying a house and I'm concerned with meditating on top of hills. Like that's not what it's about. Meditating on top of hills is wonderful, don't get me wrong, but so is the house, so is the car, so is the money that you want to get. What we do, remember, what we do is we use our spiritual practices to enhance the quality and the timbre and the vibrance of our lives. So whether you want to meditate on a hilltop, whether you want to go on a walk, whether you want to become a millionaire, whether you want to raise a family, whether you want to do all of those things, we use our spiritual practices, our enlightenment, if we may be so audacious to say, to enhance the quality of those things that we are doing. Hence, take it back to the beginning of the video where we talked about before enlightenment, we chop the wood, we carry the water. After enlightenment, we chop the wood and we carry the water. Water can flow or it can crash. You put water in the teacup, it becomes the teacup. You put water in the kettle, it becomes the kettle. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friends. Sorry, I've always wanted to, I can't help but quote. Anywho, point being, back to what we're talking about. My goal in putting this video out there, at least for you guys as well, is to, if I may be so cliche as to say something along the lines of being in the moment, etc., etc., is sort of the way, this is the way. If I may add a little bit of complexity and nuance to that, there's a veil. We all have our own particular veil. It's a type of ego. It's a type of lens that we see the world through, because that's all the ego is. The ego is a lens. There's the ego of consciousness experiencing itself as a tangerine tree. There's a lens or an ego of consciousness experiencing itself as a tree stump. There's the experience of consciousness experiencing itself as the person who calls themselves Keith or you, right? There's different lenses, and there's also lenses that we can perceive the world through. People will often say, oh, you can't always see the world through rose-colored lenses. Meaning it's like putting on a pair of red sunglasses and therefore everything you see has a tint of red in it. Well, we can tint our world on many levels. We can tint our world through the mental world, the physical world, the spiritual world, and understanding this concept of chop the wood, carry the water, is like you learn a spiritual practice. You get a meditation regime, or you blast off into the Kundalini space, or you're a Hatha yoga master, or you're a silent retreat master, or you learn how to fast for 3 weeks straight so that you can like blast off into the etheric astral realm. Whatever route you choose to take to transcend normal reality, you learn things, you experience a quality of life, you expand exponentially outside of yourself. We expand. We don't expand forever, because we are finite beings to a degree. We must be rooted to some degree somewhere. The tree has its leaves above ground, it bears fruit above ground, but it receives its nourishment from underneath the soil, right? So when we return back to our reality, the idea is our new quality of experience is now touched by the magical expansion that we've experienced. And if I may go dark side a little bit, this also happens on the other side. Imagine someone who experiences outside of regular reality something horrible like PTSD or something like that. Now when they go back to regular reality and they hear a firework, they lose their shit. Or they're standing inside of a grocery store. 2 weeks ago, they were starving on the battlefield. Their friends were getting their limbs blown off left and right. People were dying of fever and sickness and shitting themselves on the battlefield because they couldn't get clean water. I'm talking like brutal warfare type stuff. And then they get brought back home and they're in the grocery store. Allow me to finish this kind of gruesome detail. It's important for the sake of roundedness. You put them in a grocery store and they go, wow, I'm just supposed to buy milk? I've been shell-shocked into oblivion for the past 400 days, and I'm just supposed to buy milk and drink and buy bacon and eggs out of the carton? Like, you know what I mean? Because your consciousness has been torn from its regular reality, right? And therefore it has laced all your experiences with that. That's the negative side, but we have the control to go in any direction. I'm sorry that maybe I'll take that out, maybe I won't. I don't want to take that out, because the point I'm trying to make, life is balance, and if we are able to disrupt our reality in a negative fashion, we are equally able to disrupt our reality for beauty, for inspiration, for confidence, for integrity, for willpower, whatever it is you want. For just seeing magic, like I was watching Lord of the Rings last night. I haven't watched Lord of the Rings. I post about Lord of the Rings all the time, as you guys might know, because I love it. But I haven't watched it in a while. So I was watching it last night and I thought, damn, that's right. The merrymaking, the Shire vibe, the Shire lights strung up above the boards, homemade ale by the barrel, homemade pumpkin pie that you grew out back, homemade cheese from the cows down the street, like barefoot in the grass, kids playing, a live acoustic band in the corner with some horns blowing and people dancing, and maybe some fairies dancing around in the forest, maybe some forest nymphs getting weird, maybe some half-naked forest nymphs getting weird by moonlight out there in the woods, like that in between wholesome, magical, vibrant state. Like, I love that. But we can impregnate every moment of our lives with that. That's the goal. That's the goal of spirituality, is to impregnate, use our masculine conscious will to impregnate the subconscious mind, or the subconscious aspects of the world, so the subconscious can therefore take that piece of information, combine it with its information, just like the sperm and the egg, two pieces of information combined, and then it grows inside the subconscious. Just like planting an idea. You guys have all seen Inception. You take that idea, you put it in the mind, and the mind uses its own experiences to grow a brand new entity. A perfect combination of masculine and feminine. And we do that with our realities. And so we've been getting super heady, but before enlightenment, we're doing what we always do. We're chopping the wood and we're carrying the water. And after enlightenment, We bring back that beautiful quality of energy, that beautiful quality of magic, and that beautiful quality of life and expansion that we experienced outside of ourselves, and we bring it back to our everyday lives, to the conversations that we have, to the moments that we share with people. You artists out there, when you paint, you go somewhere else, you transcend, and you take that knowledge from the transcendental state, and you bring it back and you put it in your painting, and you show people. You go look, you go look with your eyes, sir. For the love of all that is holy, stop what you are doing. Stop scrolling. Look with your eyes. Bear witness to the beauty that is life, because that's what this is all about. We are here to fucking lend witness to the infinite amount of beauty that can be created in this world. And that quality of life, that quality of beauty, or the ability for us to perceive different qualities of beauty, comes from that, dare I say, enlightened state. But we don't stop chopping the wood, and we don't stop carrying the water. We don't. So all my dreamers out there, all my poets, all my musicians, all my painters, my sculptors, all my builders, all my people out there who have a vision of something that does not exist outside of the mind, and they are able to scramble together their thoughts, their willpower, their masculine, their feminine, and take something that never existed before and make it tangible in this material reality. This video is for you. I love you guys. I hope you're feeling the spirit. I hope this video did something for you. And I'll see you in the next one.